Night, welcome to usual Friday live, and I will do my usual, just add some people, then play an intro song, and then we will get into it. All right, so let's go as usual. I hope everybody is good. Hope the weather, if you are in Barbados, hope the weather is treating you fine, because yeah, we're having a lot of rain, but we still need the rain. All right, still calling in some people to join. Keep doing this. Here. All right, send separately. Okay, good night. You got one person on, and let me just go again. Who do I want to? Well, I'm gonna just start with the song because it is 6:30, and whoever comes on will be on. All right, and this song is suitable because it is a lot of water, so who else but to play than the water god himself that we call in soca, Iowa George. So we play this there while we wait for some people to come on. Coming from for your blessings, the water blessings. I am blessed. Front for your blessings, the water blessings. We get a lot of water blessings tonight. Well, mainly from yesterday. All right, I'm gonna pause that and just going to get going so we can talk about this thing. If there are any questions that you need to ask, feel free to ask, and as I said, I will get into it. So welcome again to Perimenopause Chic Chat, where I'm here most Fridays around 6:30 p.m. and if you are here live, hello to you. If you are watching the replay, hello to you as well. So there, over the past couple of days, months, weeks, there is some questions that usually tend to come up, and I decided to address them because people would usually inbox me some things and ask me, is this true? So this live is about addressing some of these questions, and if it is true. This live might last long, might not be long, but if you are here and if you have a question, you can enter it in the comment box and then I will answer your question. All right, so this was one of the most recent ones, and the question is it true? Because this was based on a video that was sent where they were, whoever it was adding linseed to some mixture and saying that is going to help to get rid of belly fat. So I was asked, is it true that flaxseed, or as we know, linseed, can help with stubborn belly fat? So what I responded is that stubborn belly fat is really a complicated thing. Hi, Janan. So stubborn belly fat is really a complicated thing, and especially for women that are going through perimenopause and even postmenopausal, realize that there is a lot of weight gain around the tummy, and that is due to the reducing amount of estrogen, which shifts the fat deposition from the hips and the buttocks to the tummy area. So that's one thing. So the other thing is that sometimes what we think might be belly fat might be a situation of bloating, or could be a situation of constipation. When you are constipated, things will be bloated. So it will look as though that you have extra belly fat. When you are stressed out, things will probably be bloated again. If you're eating a diet high in carbohydrates, carbohydrates help you to hold on to water. So you might appear like if you're bloated or if you have a lot of belly fat. Most women, when they are coming up to their period time, they get bloated. So again, that might look as if they have belly fat. But to address the issue of if linseed can help, there are two mechanisms. So linseed is a high source of fiber. Fiber is needed to help you to bulk up your stool, to eliminate. So as I would have said just now, if you're constipated, you're going to be bloated. And you're going to be reabsorbing a lot of different things. Your body is going to be inflamed. So fiber can help with that in terms of moving things out of your body. And one of the things as well is that when you move, or when you have a bowel movement, there's also the microbiome, which is a fancy word for your gut bacteria, that helps to move excess estrogen from out of your body. So when we are going through this whole transition, sometimes too much estrogen is what is causing us to keep the belly fat as well. So in terms of the linseed, because it is a fiber source, it's going to help you to bulk up stool, to get some of that bloating gone, get some of that excess estrogen gone, and it is going to feed your good bacteria, which will help you to absorb foods better. That is going to help you to reduce some of this belly fat. So that is the first mechanism. The second thing, if you grew up in the Caribbean and you might have been accustomed to linseed tea, where it is slimy, that is a mucilaginous property, and that slime helps to soothe a lot of the inflammation that is going on inside of your gut, is going on inside of your body. And remember, your digestion starts from your mouth and goes right to your anus. So it's like a tube. So nothing is touching other organs. So then your livers, you never, Charm Eyes 84, you never had linseed. You ever boil linseed? with bay leaf? If you have not, ma'am, I don't know what era, but I know you, and you are in the same era as me, so yeah. Linseed tea is just boiling seed. So let me know if you have boiling seed. You never had it as tea. Well, now you're learning something. You can have it as tea, so the sliminess. But if you don't like the slime of okra, I don't see if you can like the slime of linseed. But if you like the, but I'm just saying the linseed is going to help to soothe the gut. So that means if you have inflammation being soothed, that means that that belly fat is not going to be there. So with that question, when the person asks, is it true that linseed can help with stubborn belly fat? Yes, it can, but it's to understand the mechanism and to not think as though that is this another wonder food or detox. 2 points, because it is fiber. Fiber helps you to bulk up stool. Fiber helps you to move. Once you're moving stool, which is waste, garbage out of your system, you're not going to be bloated. If you are... Are you talking about linseed? Ramon, sorry. Right, but I was saying, so if you are constipated, know that, again, just tell you straight, that your belly can look big. So it could be that is the issue, and not necessarily body fat. You might still got some body fat, but if you're constipated, it's going to look extra big. So those are the two mechanisms. And for those of you now joining, this is really a Q&A type question, which is entitled, Is It True? So if you have any questions that you need to ask to find out if you heard something and you want to ask me, is this true? You can do that. I might not be here that long. if you don't send me your questions. So the other thing that I was sent, because people just send me stuff to verify, and this is about, is it true that strength training for women, especially in this transition, is necessary? And I would have spoken about this before, but I would say YES. 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 It is necessary. Why is strength training necessary? There are two things that I will talk about. First of all, when you have a lot more muscle mass on you, your muscle mass is not only for you to do bicep curls or for you to do squats. Your muscle mass is an organ, and it is your metabolic organ which controls your metabolism. So just to break that down, it is very expensive for your body to keep muscle mass. So the more muscle mass you have on you, the less fat you can got on you. So the less fat that you have on you as well, the less likely you are going to experience some of these perimenopause symptoms, like the weight gain, hot flashes, because excess body fat means that you might be producing extra estrogen as well, which is going to contribute to a lot of things. So that's number one, why you should exercise, strength train, and not just stick to cardio, because yes, you need cardio for your heart, but you need to do resistance training, because muscle is your metabolic organ. Just think of muscle is the way that you're going to burn fat, not long drawn out steady state cardio and lifting the 2.5 dumbbells or running from the weights. And I can hear some people know, but if I lift heavy, I can look like a man. You cannot look like a man unless you take steroids. And the thing is, estrogen is the hormone that helps you to build muscle mass. And unfortunately, we are losing estrogen, so we are losing muscle mass at a quicker rate. So when you have muscle mass on you, you feel good, because a lot of women do come and say they want to tone up. So what helps you to look toned? Muscle mass helps you to look toned. So you cannot run from this. So the second point that I will make, why women in their 40s, 50s, well, all women should be doing strength training, but especially in this transition phase, is that it will help you to reduce the incidence of osteopenia, which can develop into osteoporosis. So, and the thing is, a lot of us probably already do know that when some women get older, they are frail looking. I told young. Yeah, you can't spot train or spot reduce. I should say spot reduce is an overall thing. But I will get to that if there's a question around that. But again, doing resistance training, weight bearing stuff, even if it is that you're starting with your own body weight, you have to do some sort of resistance training, because I don't know about you, but for me, when I get older, I still want to be able to go around. I still want to be able to go on tricks and to be able to walk around. I do not want to be one of the people, because the other day I went to the airport and to pick up a friend of mine, and I did see older people being pushed out in wheelchairs. I don't want to be in that situation where I have to be dependent on people. So making sure that I have muscle mass, making sure that my bones are good, so I could still move around. And if you don't know me, some of you do know me, I still like to party. Might not be able to party as much as before, because yeah, partying in the younger years compared to the 40s is a whole different ball game. But knowing that I will have the ability to do that if I wanted to, and also to be able to maintain my sense of balance as well. So yes, you must do resistance training. It's prescription. It is prescription. Just like how some people might be said that they're going on HRT, exercise is a prescription as well. All right. So the next question, is it true that I can still get pregnant while I am transitioning or in perimenopause? So I don't know if some of you would have seen the video that was going around with this older lady. She said she was with a friend of hers, and I think she was about 57, and yes, you can, once you having a period every month, and it is, some periods are going to be anovulatory, meaning that you're not producing eggs, and some of them you are. Once you have not seen a period for 12 consecutive months, you can get pregnant. So the scenario is, and I already, there's another lady as well that I think her IG account is called Teenage Pregnancy in My 40s, because it's like a teenager and you're not expecting to get pregnant, especially if you had a child that is now about 20, 21, 22, and then you get this little surprise. So back to what I was saying, yes, you can get pregnant, although you're going through this transition, because your estrogen is not fully gone, your progesterone is not fully gone, so you could get pregnant. So you need to protect yourself. But just going back to the scenario, this lady, she's 57, she's with a friend. Her friend has a pregnancy test, and basically telling her, yeah, you pregnant. And the woman was like, I thought I was in menopause because it has been 4 months that I have not seen my period. So she let whoever shoot up in that club, and now she's pregnant, and she's concerned about how the child, if she goes to graduation, they can tell them that, look, your grandmother coming, but it's not the grandmother. But so these are the things. So yes, you can still get pregnant if you have not. All right, I can answer that question. You can still get pregnant if you have not. Once you have not. Let me get back my words. Once you have not seen a period for 12 months, if you still in that phase where it is month 4 and you ain't see a period, if you ain't hit 12 months without seeing a period, you need to protect yourself, because you might not want any of the little surprises that might happen. So yes, you can still get pregnant while you're in your 40s, while you're in your 50s. All right, so the next question. Is it true that I can still see a period monthly and be perimenopausal? I think I answered that from before, but women that are transitioning, because the thing is that your estrogen levels are declining. Sometimes it's going to be up, sometimes it's going to be low. Progesterone is slowly declining, but it does not mean that your ovaries have said, yeah, I shut up shop. So you are still going to be getting a period, and unfortunately, sometimes your period is going to change. It might embarrass you sometimes. Yeah, I had an embarrassing situation last year when I was in the UK studying. It happens, but you will still be seeing a regular period. Plus, you might get symptoms. You might not get symptoms. All right. So the next question that I will answer is, let's see, because I have my papers here. Sorry. Is it true that sometimes perimenopausal symptoms can be so rough that women leave their jobs? Yes, that is true. Between 10 to around 17% of women, based on the research or based on things coming from the UK and the US, some women do leave their jobs because the symptoms are that debilitating. And the issue is that a lot of these women, they do not get the support that they need. A lot of women will go to a doctor, and the doctors are not really helping them. The doctors might say things to them like, you are too young to be going through these changes. Or they might tell them, oh, I think I would just put you on an antidepressant or just dismissing them. And honestly, it happens. And women that do not get that support, so there's the stress from these symptoms, and it is also a mental thing as well, because if you are having debilitating symptoms, you're thinking that I can't perform my job properly, and there are some employers that are going to be very quick to fire you if they realize that you're taking sick leave and things like that and not really investigating what the problem is. Or some women are at the point that they cannot take sick leave because their pay is going to be docked, but it gets to a level that it's affecting their performance. Their managers might notice it, might be written up in performance appraisals and things like that, and they might decide, you know what, I really honestly cannot operate, because there's no flexibility for them. So they're thinking about losing their job. And if they are the breadwinner of the household, because we do have a lot of single mother households, then that is an additional stress, thinking about how am I going to get money to support my family? How am I going to pay bills? How am I going to do all these things? So some people might brush it off and say, oh, it's just a phase that you're going through. But know that there are women that get to that point that they have no choice but to finish work because they cannot function and they do need help. So that is one of the reasons why I come on these lives. I share a lot of stuff on my Instagram account. I offer different programs so that people will have an understanding of, yes, how to support these women, and also how women would know to identify some of these symptoms and to know what resources that they can go to help themselves. Because if a woman ain't working, cannot work, then it's a downhill spiral from there. So those are the questions. We coming up close to time, so I would just scroll through. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, if it is true, you can ask. No question is a stupid question. Don't feel ashamed to ask any question, because the reality is we are going through all of this together, everybody. So not only the women that are having the symptoms, but the people that are around her, they will be affected. So if there are any questions that you need to ask, feel free to ask them. All right, let us go. I don't think this was a question, man. The real Raymond Solomon Goodman said it told a lady that she cannot spot train. I think you meant spot reduce in terms of reducing fat, but there are specific exercises that you can do if you want to focus a lot more on developing certain areas. Like if you want to focus a lot on glute development, you can kill it with a lot of exercises to build your glutes. So where you have muscle, you can focus a bit more, but in terms of fat reduction, that is a multi-layered thing. And I would say to anybody, because this might be a question, to find out what supplements can work, or is it true that supplements are going to work? Supplements can only work if you fully address the basics. And if you don't know the basics by now, basics are drinking enough water, reducing a lot of the processed foods in your diet, increasing your protein intake. So one chicken wing or a drumstick at lunch is not going to cut it. Eating your vegetables, especially those green leafy vegetables. Eating some fruit, and managing your stress. Those are the things that you need to do before you're thinking about, I can just pop all these pills and think they're going to work, because most cases they're not going to work effectively. All right. You think genetics has a big role to play in how well your body deals with it? Sometimes yes, because there are certain things, I would say there are certain things that people might eat that will turn on certain genes that are detrimental and turn them off. Some people, for example, women that have the, I think it's a BRCA, it's whether BRCA 1 or 2 gene that's related to breast cancer. So just looking at how genes play, that and how they're turned on or off, they could be related to how you metabolize estrogen as well. There are a whole set of things, but I would say if a woman looks at if a woman also looks at how her family members, the members from her mother's side, members from her father's side, if she can figure out how they would have gone through perimenopause, that can be an indication of how she might experience it. But I would say this: there are different factors that are going to personally influence how a woman's genetics are. For example, back then, our soil was a lot richer in terms of foods and things like that, and you were able to get more nutrients. So some women probably wouldn't have gone through these these changes as much as we are going through now, because we are exposed to a lot more toxins, a lot more xenoestrogens that are going to flip on certain genes that are going to make our perimenopause experience a bit worse than our mothers, our grandmothers. It could also be related to the fact that our grandmothers did not say anything. People suffered in silence. So you might think that it is something that is going to be bad for you. But yeah, sorry, getting back to that question. As I said, it depends. Because, so for example, there are, and I could speak about this, there's one aunt that I have that she said that she only had a hot flash one day. She can remember that, and then the other times she had nothing. It's just that she realized that her period disappeared. There's another aunt that I have that is going through hell. And the difference is their eating habits, their supplementation. One of them, some of the things she was eating is very high in sugar, so her issues. The other one, I know from every sense she believed in evening primrose oil, and she believed in taking care of her body. Her mindset totally different. This woman think that she's a young yam, and she just old it. but I love her to bits. So lifestyle, I think it more boils down to lifestyle more than genetics. Yes, certain things can play a big factor, but lifestyle is the underlying issue in terms of how a woman goes through these changes. All right, so I don't see any more questions, and it is way past 20 minutes. I try to keep these things short, but sometimes it does not happen, and that is what happened tonight. But I will play the outro song. If it is that you need to ask me any questions, feel free to slide into my DMs. And just letting you know, on the 25th of November, there will be a perimenopause workshop about nutrition. So if you want to join in on that, go to the link in my bio and it will take you to the form where you can fill out. But remember, whatever you put in your mouth, that is going to be the determining factor of how you experience this transition. And I am striving for more women to go through this transition as seamlessly as possible, so that when we get to the other side, we flawless, we full of zest, we full of life. So the out sound, and if you are in Barbados, you will know that we're getting a lot of water right now, so it's only suited to play the Water Lord of Soca, Iowa George. Hey, oh yeah. For your blessings, the water blessings. I am blessed. Good night, everybody. I am blessed.